Mitch Marner would fit in very well with Bruce Cassidy's defense and forecheck because he is ranked ninth overall in takeaways from this past season per 60 minutes, and that's according to On Tap Sportsnet. The VGK defensive structure, it's similar to Toronto's, which means that Marner, a two-way player, should succeed here in Las Vegas. It is Marner Monday, and it's next right here on Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again from Las Vegas. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick reporting. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. Of course, please subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. I am a longtime sportscaster, a marketing consultant, and the host of the Believe in Vegas podcast on the Believe Network. And Chris is the owner of Silver State Cards and Sports and the collectibles editor for the Hockey News. Now, coming up ahead on Marner Monday, of course, our top story is about Marner's role with VGK. Pietrangelo and two former Golden Knights make the quarter-century team, and a drop in Canadian air travelers, which, of course, Chris will definitely address. He's real interested in that topic. We are brought to you today by Monarch Money. Go to monarchmoney.com. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL. You'll get 50% off of the first year. Really good and solid analysis, right, of Mitch Marner's contributions and how well they'll fit in here in Las Vegas. Steve Kwiatkowski wrote this article from On Tap Sportsnet, and it was talking about the fact that VGK last year, sixth overall in expected goals share, close to 53%, and the Golden Knights produced better by 2%. XG, by the way, in case you don't know what that is, it is a statistical measure of shots resulting in a goal. It's a way of assessing pretty much offensive performance, output, what have you. So imagine what the addition of Mitch Marner would do for VGK offensively here in Vegas.
Offensively, yes. What I'm looking at is, so the number one concern outside of goaltending has been what in the offseason besides
defense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I don't think we're talking about, yes, we've talked about his two-way ability and Mitch Marner's and everything, but what's not being discussed is the fact that Marner is going to ease the pressure of the defense a little bit. The article talks about the 1-2-2 that Cassidy deploys. Marner traditionally is going to be in that F2 role. The F2's role is basically kind of looking for the snipe, kind of like the mid pass to kind of pick off that first breakout pass. The F3 is looking for the bomb pass. The F1 is putting pressure on. Marner is going to be spectacular in the F2 role. Again, we're talking about someone who's had Selke consideration every year outside of his rookie campaign. So for me, I'm looking at, 100 points isn't guaranteed by any means, but he's going to be fine offensively. But for all the concern we have about the defense, now the Golden Knights are going to be a much stronger team attacking on the opposite blue line, and they're going to be stronger in the neutral zone, taking away some of the pressure from the defense that we're very concerned about.
So we know that Marner is a very strong, solid two-way player, and the 1-2-2 structure here in Vegas, it's the same structure, right? Defensively that they use in Toronto. So he should prosper. He should do very well. And again, ninth in takeaways there per 60 minutes. That is an unbelievably strong analytic when you look at things.
100%. And like I said, this is where the Golden Knights are. They didn't improve defensively with defensemen, so you do what you can on the offensive side while you add someone who has 100-point potential. I guess the one thing I was thinking about here, besides Riley Smith, and I'm talking about players predominantly in the top 9 on the wing, I was trying to think of other really good defensive wingers that VGK has had since inception, and I'm kind of drawing a blank. I mean, obviously Riley Smith is the first name. Thinking about other wingers like Perron, no. James Neal, no. Alex Tuck isn't really known for his two-way ability. He's okay, but definitely something that doesn't get talked about a lot. Max Pacioretty, God no, and so on and so forth. So this will be very unique for the Golden Knights to have this type of defender, if you will, on the wing. And then you think about the two-way players that the Golden Knights have now on the forwards: Jack Eichel, Mitch Marner, Mark Stone, William Karlsson, Riley Smith. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this forecheck works out with the addition of Marner, and the fact that this team is going to be incredibly difficult to play against in the neutral zone now.
So they both employ, right, Toronto and VGK on the power play structure, 1-3-1, pretty much. I think it's the same. So 1-2-2 is the standard, right, there for defense and the way that it looks. And then 1-3-1 pretty much on the power play unit. And again, what do you think the role for Marner will be? And I think they posed a good question. Does he replace Dorofeev in the Dorofeev role?
Marner has been quarterbacking that top power play unit in Toronto for a long time, and they deploy five forwards a lot. So Marner's been very good in that quarterback role. Now, here's what we know. We know Mitch Marner is not going to go to the second power play and quarterback that unit and not be on power play one. We certainly know that. And now we're talking about removing Dorofeev, the team's best scoring assets. I don't know if that's necessarily accurate. So then we talk about Tomas Hertl. Well, we talked about Hertl and his crazy offensive zone faceoff percentage on the power play. We've also talked about Jack Eichel's not so crazy in the wrong way. So this is where Cassidy is a bit of a snafu, a bit of a conundrum to figure out where exactly Marner's going to go. I think they just put 6 out there, Tony. I say screw it. Just go for it all. Just start the power play on the 6-on-4. You can have Dorofeev and Stone and Marner out there. Let's just do that.
Marner will stay back and play goalie, right? Come back there.
No goalie. No goalie.
Okay. So this article also pointed out, again, VGK, of course, went silent there in the second round against Edmonton. Well, Mitch Marner, they still blast him, and he had 13 points in 13 playoff games this year. I mean, he's going to contribute.
Goals, I think, ever in games 5 through 7 or something in the playoffs. Leafs fans will correct
That's more than any Golden Knight, correct? 13 points, I think. Yeah.
Oh, for last season? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Of course, nobody scored in the second round. Yeah.
Listen, the one trump card that Leafs fans will always have is until Mitch Marner does something after Game 4 in the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. So until Marner does that, then that's something Leafs fans can hold over Golden Knight fans, because it is reality that Marner's stats in games 5 through 7 are bad. Now the workaround is just the Golden Knights just sweep everybody 4-0 and win the Stanley Cup in 16 games next year, and that way there won't be a problem to worry about. But all jokes aside, that's the flaw in Marner's game right now is his playoff contributions in games 5, 6, and 7, which of course are the most sensitive games of any playoff series. So hopefully Marner can turn that around with a better team in a better situation than he was when he was on the Leafs.
Meanwhile, on a podcast, Damian Cox went in and said that they should have let Tavares instead of Marner go in Toronto. This is just the summer of Marner, because every day there's another article.
No, it's not like we do a weekly segment on him.
Who? We
or
do?
2 or 3 segments a week, maybe.
Yeah, we do. But in any event, it said that, again, Damian Cox also said that none of the moves in losing Marner did they make up any of the offense. And just everyone.
I don't know if that's accurate, but.
Well, he said they didn't replace the scoring there. So, and
it's what they said in Vegas when Marchessault left. So Leafs fans, relax.
I know, exactly. Did Marner have 18 more points than Austin Matthews, who was like second, I think, on that team in scoring? So, yes, they lose their top scorer. And that's
no doubt. It's a concern, and we were concerned in Vegas when it happened. And last year was fine for all intensive purposes when Marchessault left.
Coming up next, Alex Pietrangelo and 2. Can you name them? 2 mints and 1. 2 former Golden Knights make the quarter-century team. We'll get to that as we return on Locked On Golden Knights. Most people cannot name all their financial accounts or what they are worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's right. That's why there is Monarch Money. It's an all in one personal financial tool, and it brings your entire financial life together all in one clean, easy to use interface. And you could do it on your laptop, even or on your phone. And it does all the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in just minutes, see clear data visuals. You can get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of all of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. Monarch makes it simple to review your finances. And if you have a partner, you both can see budgets, goals, and even spending activity all in one place. So do not let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL at monarchmoney.com, and you will receive 50% off of your first year. Again, use that promo code LOCKEDONNHL, and you'll get 50% off of your first year at monarchmoney.com. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. I am the real Tony Cardasco. He is the real Chris Golick. But did you see at Excess last night or 2 nights ago? There was a Justin Bieber lookalike, and Excess nightclub was duped and put this guy on stage, and he performed as Justin Bieber. And everyone was getting autographs. He had a mob around him. He's taking photos. He has security. How do you get, in today's world, bro, how do you get duped by some guy? I should have done this as a segue into the Canadian segment. Darn it. How do you get duped by some guy who is not Justin Bieber?
I guess the question that I asked, wasn't there like a DJ doing a set or something like that?
Yes, of course.
Was the DJ in on it, or do you see like Bieber in the crowd like,
Who
get up
decided,
here, bro? Like,
who decided to put this guy on stage? Because you have to lose your job, or at least be reprimanded in the highest degree.
I mean, listen, I don't know. No such thing as bad publicity. I mean, everyone's talking about it now. People are looking up X. I mean, you can't buy that type of publicity. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Not for Vegas. We don't need right now. Las Vegas does not need something like this. I can't ever see this happening.
See, this is what happens with we'll segue to the third segment here in a little bit, but this is what happens when things start going bad. Canadians stop coming. We start getting impersonators instead of the real thing.
Canadians stop coming, but the impersonator still comes from Canada to here. Go figure. Okay. Alex Pietrangelo.
He's Canadian, isn't he?
Named as one of 6 defensemen on the NHL Network's quarter-century team over this past weekend. Actually, again, there's a couple of other former Golden Knights. You've got Pietrangelo, you have Shea Weber, and you have Jonathan Quick. Oh, no, he's a former Columbus Blue Jacket. He should have went in there. In any event, this list included the likes of Drew Doughty, Victor Hedman, Duncan Keith, your guy, and Cale Makar. Pretty solid list there. And Pietrangelo is feted there by the NHL Network as one of the best defensemen. What did he come into the league around 2008? I think he played a couple of games there his first year. And then after that, he was a high draft pick, right, in 08. And then after that, of course, his career just blew up. And we can't say enough about what he did here and his contributions in Vegas.
4th overall in the 2008 draft for the Blues. So, yeah, I mean, where do you go with this? I mean, I look at all the awards. I mean, he had awards consideration his first season, I don't know if he won the Lady Byng, but Byng consideration, your favorite, Norris consideration, more Byng consideration. I mean, it's just remarkable looking at all of his accomplishments. Of course, a 2-time Stanley Cup winner, the heart and soul of the team's defense each time his respective team these respective teams did win the Stanley Cup. And as much as we talk about what he can do on the ice, dude is an absolute warrior. We saw that last season, what he played through. And at some point, all that's going to come out, I think. And I mean, it's amazing he probably made it as long as he did, even though he's technically not out of the game necessarily. And I mean, family man off the ice and everything. And that's, I think, a huge part of his decision to somewhat walk away from the game right now. Wants to have the best quality of life for, the stuff that really matters instead of the silly hockey game.
And throughout his career, the average minutes played per game, St. Louis and Vegas, 24 minutes, 22 seconds.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And that is going to take an effect, as we've seen, on Pietrangelo on your body, because that is a lot of minutes. And Cassidy here in Vegas said we couldn't get the guy off the ice. Basically, you couldn't keep him off the ice. He would just go back out there.
23:47 in Vegas was his average ice time as well, in the I guess now the twilight of his career. And I mean, he was out there in every single circumstance. And I remember asking Coach Cassidy in a random press conference. I noticed I think there was a couple games in a row when Pietrangelo had south of 20 minutes, and I said, hey, his minutes seem to be down a little bit. Is this are we managing minutes here, or is there more to this? And he basically said, no, the game's just there was less special teams, less penalty kills was the main thing, and the games weren't necessarily as close down the stretch. So for those sensitive minutes, those most important minutes of the game, they were able to give him a break because there weren't many sensitive minutes of the game. So yeah, I mean, there's not enough good things to say about him in a 7.5 minute segment right now. But you appreciate everything he did for the Blues, the Golden Knights, the game, and more importantly, how he is off the ice and everything. You hear nothing but the best. And I guess you wonder if he's going to stay in Vegas or return home to St. Louis. And either way, he'll be great for whatever community him and his family go to.
Here in Las Vegas, 187 points, 329 games. Overall, he played 1,087 games. And so he basically is a player that does qualify for a quarter century team, having played 17 of those 25 years, 33 game-winning goals. And then, of course, he did step away due to the health concerns, age 35, an illustrious career. And I just go back to that statement that he made when he did step away, been advised to move away from the game. The intensity of hockey, that is so powerful, right? The intensity of hockey, to see if he can live now a normal life, if they can fix him well enough so that he can play catch with his kids, or just even get out there on street hockey with his kids and have fun and enjoy the rest of his life. 35 is very young, as we know, and not in hockey years, and not in averaging over 24 minutes per game, but still very youthful.
I mean, he doesn't want to look like a WWE wrestler from the early 1980s and mid 80s, mid-professional wrestler, should say it like that, from the 80s that can barely walk and stuff like that. So listen, full credit to him for moving on from the game. He'll be missed, and it's unfortunate.
So I saw Tom Brady, different topic here, but I saw Tom Brady in the press box the other day at the Raider game, and he's walking around, but dude, like kind of gingerly, like when, like post-career, and like your body's moving kind of differently from all those hits. Seriously.
You try getting chased by 350-pound dudes like that, and just run over you every damn play.
Right. And of course, getting chased by supermodels too and all that. Yeah, that'll do worse. It's got to be worse. But yeah, no, you see a change, right? After all those years and the cumulative effect, and it happens to the best of them, every athlete. So Pietrangelo, again, he needs to step away. A lot of people ask, why not retire officially? And we know the answer there.
It's LTIR, it's stuff, and it's what needs to wait. Whatever box needs to be checked for the Golden Knights to put him on LTIR, plain and simple.
So he still will be paid for the next 2 seasons.
Yeah, good for him. Good for him. He earned it.
Coming up next, Chris really
Shea Weber and Jonathan Quick, the other twos. Okay, anyway.
I think I said it. Did I say that?
I don't know.
Yeah, Shea Weber, of course, that outstanding VGK.
Shea Weber was good in Vegas as Jonathan Quick was in Columbus.
Give him a statue in front of T-Mobile.
Why not?
Coming up next, a topic that's near and dear to Golick's heart, the drop in Canadian air travelers. You're going to take it from there. We'll return with more right after this on Lockdown Golden Knights. Welcome back on Lockdown Golden Knights for a Monday, back for the start of another week. I'm a little sluggish getting into this.
Mondays are always tough. Like, even though I don't have a regular job, like, it just feels Mondays just hit differently than any other day of the week. So maybe it's because the kids go back to school and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little different. It hits differently. And of course,
it does. I don't know why. This is actually my Friday for work. Actually, it's my Saturday. I work 6 days a week.
Oh, you're like
I work 8 days a week, actually.
Hang on. You're on the casino schedule. It's my Thursday. I can't go out.
I still kind of think like
Monday.
that. I still kind of think like that a little bit. It's my Saturday night because I work 6 days a week now.
And all these topics will be covered on Friday for WTF Day. Don't forget
transition
that comes up. So there's a drop in Canadian air travelers to Las Vegas, and now we have seen that decrease hurt this city, and the decrease in visitors from the north can absolutely impact and affect the attendance at T-Mobile Arena when the Canadian
and the 5149 raffle.
In the 5149 raffle. This is your topic, Golick.
Yeah, no, I mean, we talked about this last week, and we've discussed the challenges that we both feel the Golden Knights are going to have heading into the 25-26 season. Mitch Marner is going to help ease the pressure, I think, a little bit with more local interest and things like that. But we did notice it last season, not to make an election situation here, but things did change a little bit with less Canadians coming to the Golden Knights games. You definitely felt it in the stands a little bit. And now this report comes out from Harry Reid International Airports, and there's 3 airlines that are talked about. I never heard of Flair Airlines, but they dropped off
that's Ric Flair's airline.
Exactly. Woo. They dropped off about 6,000 year over year, June 2024, June 2025. Air Canada, a much more predominant Canadian airline, dropped off 18,000 or 18,000 year over year, and WestJet about 21,500 year over year. And maybe it's a small sample. Of course, there's a lot of other airlines, but this is just something. This is another challenge that the Golden Knights, I think, are going to have right now, because I don't think they're going to be able to count on as much of the out of town visitors coming now. Golden Knights seem to be ahead of this. They held that open house, which I thought was magnificent. It generated a ton of interest, I'm sure, for people who do not have season tickets for the Golden Knights. And even if they don't pick up a season ticket package, maybe, hey, this is fun. I'm going to go to 3 or 4 games this year, and then those people are going to tell their friends and so on and so forth. So I think the Golden Knights are ahead of this. How will that be executed once the season starts, especially if this Canadian drop-off seems to continue? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, at that, again, this is marketing 101, and they hadn't done this 24, 25-hour open house since 2017.
This is the first time like this, and I thought they've done other...
They did it in 17.
They've done other seat selection events. I don't know if they've done a hardcore open house.
They did 24 hours in 2017. They did.
Right, yeah, no, that was the inaugural year. I remember being there. There was like 12 people there. It was great.
Right.
I was one of them.
But they haven't done anything in between because they carried a lot of momentum from season to season. The winning formula.
Yeah, good on Vegas for doing that.
Yeah, they're winning games. And then what pretty much keeps you away from going to games at T-Mobile? Traffic at the top of your list, I would guess.
What keeps me away from going to games at T-Mobile?
Yeah. I mean, work schedule, obviously.
Outside of the standard work schedule. To be completely honest, I know I complain about F1 and stuff like that, but if I'm going to a game, I'm going to a game regardless of what's happening. I might cry about the traffic and all the construction, not just around T-Mobile, but everywhere. I mean, it starts at the end of my block right now, and it's everywhere in this town. But at the end of the day, if the decision is made to go to a game, I'm going to a game. I don't think the stuff like that's going to slow me down. Now, what will impact me going to a game is maybe, okay, well, it's not just about going to the game. It's about spend and stuff like that and how much it's going to cost me for the night and everything. Or maybe instead of eating at T-Mobile, me and Chris walk across the street to that food court and have a little Panda Express and Popeyes or something like that, and try to avoid spending $6 for about for a bottle of water inside the arena. But nothing's going to stop us from going to a game. But what is going to lessen maybe is our spend during the game, because it is so expensive to do stuff in this town, all the gouging and everything, which of course the Golden Knights have definitely done their part when it comes to gouging, if you will, at the arenas and things like that. That's not just the Vegas Golden Knights problem. A lot of arenas do that. But again, will the Golden Knights ease the pressure a little bit, saying, okay, these $22 beers, if no one's buying these, if less people are buying these $22 beers, maybe we make them $16 this season. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. And another thing that's significant. So I go to Las Vegas Aces games, and now the event parking fee, $40. So it went up. It was like 25, 30, 40 to go to a WNBA game. That is ridiculous. I know that VGK fans are more savvy. They find ways to skirt everything.
Oh yeah,
And
there's free hacking.
get
There's free
the
parking hacks all over. But yeah,
right. There are hacks all over. But
or just
if
take the
you're a
bus for
visitor,
$4. The bus is a great option too.
yeah. Well, the bus on Saturday went to the Raiders game. No one told me. Thanks again, Golick, for the PSA or whatever. Usually are good about this.
I thought the
The
bus goes
215,
all Golden Knights and Raiders games, including preseason.
It did. However, from Windmill to Allegiant Stadium took me 40 minutes. Why? Because road work on a game day on the 215 down to one lane. And all these juiches that have their custom, all these people that have their custom license plate tags that cut me off every day with Raider or Golden Knight, license plates. They wouldn't let anyone in. So anyway, yeah, traffic is a concern. The cones down to one lane, and it went until Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Both directions there of the 215. The roadways are just an absolute mess. They didn't prepare for this episode.
It reminds me about, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. I think like a Facebook memory popped up or something, and every major artery in and out of the strip was under construction, whether it's Tropicana, whether it's Flamingo, whether it's 95, whether it's going through downtown, whether it's 215, whether it's 15. And, I mean, I know there's been issues about unemployment and stuff like that, but you need a job in this town, go in the construction business, because apparently there's always going to be plenty of work for that. I'm half joking, half serious. But yeah, I mean, back to the Golden Knights here, I'm really curious to see how they do handle things. And, there were concerns about like this dynamic pricing, like season ticket holders being a season ticket holder does have some good benefits. And one of them was paying less at the concession stands. Like, this was really cool. And the Golden Knights announced this leading up to last season. And then the discount, like it's dynamic pricing. So one day, the discount's 5%. One day it's 15%. And you talk to all the different people that work at these concession stands. They're like, we have no idea what, why, when, and how this happens. But it's just, just give a little more love, I think, to the season ticket holders, and, stop playing the pricing games. I know T-Mobile has something to do with this too. It's not just the Golden Knights, but it would be nice maybe to feel a little bit more love as a season ticket holder when I'm buying a $12 tub of buttery popcorn. I don't know.
Well, it costs more here because you have two different entities that are dipping in. So you have like the AG side, MGM-ish side, and you have Foley and the Golden Knights, and they each want their share of.
Everyone's got their hand out saying, "Give me."
So that's why it's one of the most expensive, I think, arenas there for concessions.
You mentioned the parking real fast here. So me and Chris, we were running some errands. We wound up going to Fremont Street, actually. There's a sports card shop down there. I don't necessarily recommend it, but every now and then it's okay to go there. And you look at parking at that outdoor venue where, what's the old station property down there? Not Palace, whatever, who cares? The one by Plaza over there. And $30 event parking. You go by Circa, $40 event parking.
Main Street Station.
Main Street Station. Yeah. Everything is like $20, $25, $30, but to park downtown. And then I end up parking on the street for like $6 or something like that, a block away. But like, and all the tables are like, look at the limits. They're all $15, $20 on Fremont Street. Like, I don't know. That's what prompted me to.
Someone said it's 25 at like a lot of those casinos down
there.
It's minimum.
Stupid. Yeah, it's
I don't get it. That's not your consumer. That's not your. Speaking of consumers, so who has the biggest traveling fan base of the Canadian teams? Would it be Edmonton? Is that fair
Toronto.
to say?
It's got to be Toronto.
It
Gotta
is
be
Toronto. I mean, Toronto
Toronto
even,
or Montreal have to be 1 and 2.
really? I
Oh,
see
yeah.
so many Edmonton jerseys.
Edmonton's a very close third, but I think it's more of a Golden Knights thing more than anything, honestly. They'd like coming to Vegas.
We appreciate everyone tuning in, especially our everydayers. We'll see you again on Tuesday. That's tomorrow. For my man, Chris Golick, make sure that you definitely subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. For Chris Golick, I'm Tony Cardasco. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Please take care.